Okay, gentlemen, you're live.
Welcome again to Pacific Indoor Lawn Bowling Club. We are here for the final of the women's provincial singles. So our finalists in today, Linda Ng against June Huang. Both of them played superbly in their semi-finals. If they keep on playing that, I think it's going to be a fantastic match. We've got the third and fourth place playoff is Rainbow Lung is playing against Gillian Poon. So a group of four very talented bowlers. So I'll welcome Tom Burridge into the commentary.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, we got a real cooker here at the in the final. We have the 2024 BC Women's Indoor Champion against a relatively new bowler. So this just tells stories about this game, about how quickly you know good, young, conscientious, work hard new bowlers can get themselves up into a position where they're playing with the real greats. And Yeah, because on the bronze medal side, uh, we have the Canadian indoor champion and Rainbow Lung, who's a uh, 2018 provincial champion. So three very experienced bowlers, but we got June Huang here, who is defying the odds, and she's going to be rolling the dice here. And yeah, we look forward to a real exciting match.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to see in this match, judging from their previous matches and their history, is like two bowlers who are going to be just incredibly accurate, and it's going to be probably a sort of circumstance here where they're going to have to just take their chances when they get them, and make sure that if your opponent gives you a little bit of wriggle room to get a shot in there, you're going to have to take that because if you don't, sure as heck they're going to take it back. So they're just on the final trial end at the moment, and then they'll be moving into the actual match. So looking forward to this, and I think we're going to have a very fine match if those semi-finals are anything to go by.
Both both these two bowlers draw very well, uh, but you'll see both of them from time to time exhibiting throwing a little bit of a narrower line with a little bit more weight when they want to, you know, make sure their bowl gets to its destination in the most uh, in the most perfect way. They'll be changing up their weight. Linda is a master at this. She went to the Worlds. What was it? Just last year, was it? Uh, did quite well.
Yep, she's had multiple visits to the Worlds. She's been a bronze medalist in singles and a bronze medalist also in the pairs,
Yeah, the mixed pairs. Yeah,
mixed pairs. Yes,
at the
yep,
indoor singles just
yep,
last year.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. So she is hugely experienced. She's part of the Canadian national team. So this is Linda throwing the jack at the moment. And yeah, what we've seen with Linda is she's been a very good bowler since she started back around about 2014, I think she started, and she was always a very good bowler. But since she's become part of that national team, she's gone up just another level.
Mm.
She was already a superb bowler, but I think being part of that sort of setup, she's really just works very hard at her game, and she's a real professional. And anytime you play Linda, you're in for a big match.
Yeah. So this will be a real test for the the untested June Huang. Um, uh, this is, I think, her first foray into provincial singles, and she seems unflappable. Very calm, very decisive, uh, making proper decisions, and she's executing very well. I think what she's bringing here is she's just playing within herself, and not trying to be something different, uh, and it's really working for her. She's become a very consistent club bowler, and quickly, I think we'll be talking about her uh, in a different way, and she won't just be a club bowler, but she's going to be a provincial medalist without a doubt. But what it'll be, gold or silver?
Yeah, and I think Linda at the other end has taken what was originally a very strong draw game, and each year she seems to add another component to her game, and now she's a player that can play a very good draw game, but she's also very good at uh, as required at an upweight shot if she really needs to. The thing with Linda is that she doesn't need to a lot because she's so accurate that
Hmm.
she's usually holding shot if she's close in, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have those weapons at your disposal, but not have to necessarily use them.
Yes, well, when you're playing at the real high level, you can't afford to, throw shots away. Um, if the head's not looking good, then you have to do something to move it, to move the jack or to just alter the head somewhere. And she's like Shane, you were mentioning, she's extremely good at doing that, and she won't hesitate to do it.
Yeah, but
Uh,
when we see sort of Linda playing in sort of like pairs, triples, fours, and she's skipping, we see a different sort of aspect to her. We see uh, that ability to change a head. But in the singles match, she's just so darn good that she doesn't necessarily need to do that much. And she started out pretty well here. She's got a couple of reasonable shots in there, but let's see what June can do here.
well, it's interesting because in the semifinal that June was playing against Rainbow, uh, first uh, second set, first end, decisive takeout of a shot, changed the match completely. And she literally cruised through the second set, um, uh, almost effortlessly, it seemed to me.
You did feel like, that there was maybe, she was maybe in third gear and there was maybe at least one more gear, possibly even, some form of overdrive that she might have had there to go to. She just didn't necessarily need it. And when you're playing a player of the quality of Rainbow, like that's a huge thing, for anyone to do, let alone someone who's what, a third year bowler. So
Yeah, and and she's bringing that unknown factor into this game, and how that plays out, and how that weighs on Linda's mind. Well, I guess we'll find out. But she's in some ways enigmatic. We don't know too much about her, but when she gets on the mat and delivers that bowl, there's no disputing the skill that she's showing at this time of her career and at this level. It's real.
yeah, and I think the thing is, some players, playing an opponent like that will let it get to them. Oh, she's got a lucky break there. That was maybe not the shot she was planning, but you take the lucky breaks when you get them because they go against you so often. So she's turned that into a one, possibly more.
Yes,
It's hard to tell. I think it's one, possibly two, and
yeah.
then
There's a
might even be a third shot.
possibly a measure for third.
Yeah. Okay, Linda takes the first one out. Linda tends to be a very good judge of what's shot and what's not. So she's having a look there, doing the finger measure. She's not sure. She looks like she's reaching for the measure. Oh, no, it's side. They agree. I'm not sure what it is.
Assuming it's one. Huh.
So we will try and keep you up to date on the third and fourth playoff as well. At the moment, it looks like Rainbow's 1-0 up after one end against Gillian. So just waiting for that scoreboard to be updated. Work out how many shots June picked up.
Just a single. She's going right back to the long jack.
It's worked well for her in her previous match in the semi-final there. So
It did.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So first bold here from June, second end, first set. Well, good line, but the length is just under, it's about a little over 1.5 meters short. Linda's first shot's coming in nicely. Let's see if he gets around this. Oh, it's very similar. How often does that happen? That first shot is a bit shorter than your opponent
It's funny
ends up
how one
matching it.
bowl gravitates to
Yeah.
another.
So June's second shot coming in now. She's just going to scoot round her first one and go closer to the jack. Pretty, just a touch short of jack high. Holding shot, but there's plenty of room there for Linda to draw. Okay, Linda's response, let's see. She's got a good line.
She made sure she had enough weight this time. There we go.
Okay, that is vintage Linda. And like Tom was saying, like it just sort of seems like June, she has no hesitation. She gets on the mat. She knows what she wants to do. That's a good sign. See what this one can do. It's coming in. Okay,
Good
she's,
yard short.
yeah. Okay, Linda just wants to replicate that last bowl, which of course is the hardest bowl to play. When you skip tells you the same bowl, it's like, I'll try. See if she can do that.
Well, looks by all accounts, she can. Yeah.
Okay. What's the mark of it? June's come down to have a look. Makes her way back. So Linda's sitting two shots are both in beautiful position in behind the jack.
Seems like a backhand draw, I would imagine.
Yep, and you just don't want to be short because you do have those two bowls just to land on if you are a little heavy.
Looks like she got the weight right.
How's the line?
Just off a bit. Just off a bit. Weight would have been very good.
Yeah. So Linda looking to convert this into a three, sitting two currently. And, this is what good bowlers do. They don't leave any shots hanging. So let's see if she can make that three, putting pressure on her now. Just a touch
Just
heavy.
a heavy, yeah.
So two shots for Linda. So that's going to be a 2-1 lead to Linda after two ends.
And over on 6, Rainbow picked up another point. Rainbow now leading 2-0 after two ends.
Yeah, I think the Rainbow and Gillian matchup's a good one as well because again, they're both very, all four of these bowlers are very, very precise bowlers. They're not sort of like anything dramatic or sort of over the top about their games, but
Mm.
that's what a lot of good bowlers are.
Yeah, consistency is the name of this game, and if you can consistently put your ball, inside of a foot, you're going to have some pretty good outcomes most of the time.
I'm not familiar with that word consistency. I think I've heard of it before. I've never managed to maintain that myself, but I go for absolute brilliance and absolute sort of mayhem. Tend to be my two modes. So maybe this year I'll work on consistency.
Well, I'd take consistency over luck any day in this game because luck can be fleeting. But
Well, yeah, consistency makes luck, I think.
yes,
Uh, Another good start here from
yeah,
Linda, just in
yeah,
behind the jack, and
really good spot.
that's what she does so often is not only getting the shots in, but just in behind the jack, which is a great place to be.
Yeah, her positioning is excellent.
Yeah.
Many of us were just happy when we get anywhere near close to it, but when you can almost place it right where you want it, just opens up so many more options. Now you can draw to the jack, you can push the jack, you can hide the jack
Mm.
behind it.
Yeah, I've tried that placing the ball where I want it, and apparently that's cheating. So yeah, apparently you actually have to release it from the other end. So yeah. So I think one of the things I always sort of like about Linda's game is just her delivery is just flawless. It's just it's like a knife cutting through butter. She just delivers it gently, but sort of with minimal sort of moving parts. It's just a
Yes,
very conservative but very repeatable
efficient, I guess would
deliver.
be a good way of
Yes,
putting it.
perfect. Yep.
Looks like a good
June's
response
coming
here
in.
from June.
She's trying
Maybe a
hard.
little, is
She
it going
could
to get
find
in
a
front of
friend.
it? Not just slightly on the other side. That's too bad. That was a good ball.
Okay, she's in
Had
the
the
ballpark there though.
green had a good green there.
Yep, you just have to say to yourself, take a couple of feet off that, and that's going to be right in play. Just a matter of what Linda does with this one.
I think Linda's going to want to put this one just right on the jack.
Yeah, if you could just get in front of it, maybe a little touch.
It's just
Every so often, there's a ball that proves that she's human.
she has a forehand. She seems to be deliberating though. It perhaps prefers a backhand.
Let's see what June can do with this one. She was very close that last one. This one of Linda's is going to get in the way. So often that can happen. That bowl that's been dropped short it just
Yeah,
seems to attract your bowl sometimes.
I don't like to second guess the bowler, but I think the forehand was open to her, and um, sometimes the newer bowlers they're too strong on one hand and they reluctant to change a hand even when the opportunity presents itself. Oh, I think they wanted that one back too.
Yeah, it's funny though. I think it could even be still in the count.
It might very well be.
Yeah, not a great bowl, but it's still a pretty open head. Like if from June's perspective, like both sides are open, I still feel like that forehand side might be a little the better.
Hmm.
And
Kind of
It,
clearer draw to,
yeah, it's just a draw overhand.
yeah.
I think sometimes as bowlers we overthink things too much. You think about, oh, what could I do here? It's like, well, you could get close to the jack. That's pretty effective. That's sort of the point of the game.
Well, you can take the brain out of it by, you know, studying the head and if you follow what the head says, you don't have to think. You
Yeah,
just,
and I think that was a classic
you don't want
case
to
there.
force your bowl through, a whole bunch of stuff. And
Yeah, maybe if I get this wicket, it'll come back onto
yeah,
this.
you're
And
right. It's like hoping on hope.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Uh,
you take what's offered you in there and make whatever that shot is. And most of the times, I think you're going to be more successful than not.
yeah, I think then I'm not sure whether it was just June just got the weight completely wrong or she was overthinking it and trying to get a bit of movement on the jack or something. But that was a very deep bowl in the case where she just needed a draw.
Mm.
Okay, so Linda pushes on. Rainbow's pushing on in the other match. She's 3-0 up after three ends against Gillian.
And her first bull is within inches of the jack. It's not where you want to be when you're trailing by a two or three and your first bull is a toucher.
So Linda's throwing the jack here. Got her first ball coming down. She is 3-1 up after three ends.
Again, first bull just behind the jack, good spot.
Yeah, so those two-tone green bowls of Linda's are familiar to many of us here who sort of played with and against her over the years. She plays with Dreamlines and she really sort of makes them sing on these greens.
Yeah, the many bowlers, particularly here in PIBC, are throwing quite narrow bowls and to good effect as well.
Yeah, and I think that the greens here are good enough that, whatever your preference is, like, whether you're bowling narrow bowls or wider bowls, they will do what you want them to do. You can get
Hmm.
out nice and wide and bring them back, or you can play with those sort of narrower bowls, and that works too. Which, again, that's part of the fun of the game is how you do it. Second bowl in here from Linda.
Got the weight right.
Yeah, lovely weight. It's not that far away, so
Gives an opportunity for June to come onto that bowl and flop over if you make contact. Could be lying two with a good shot.
trying to get this through. And she's right there.
Yeah, very nice bowl by June.
Yep,
Good response.
very, very good bowl. So she's sitting in a nice spot now, but Linda will take this as a challenge and just
Yeah, she
trying to go
still
one
has a
better.
forehand. Yeah.
Yep.
Throwing a little narrower line.
Hmm.
Maybe wants to move it back to her two bowls there. Didn't quite. It's a bit on the narrow side.
Yeah, it's ended up in an okay place, but okay, so June's holding short. She just wants to get another one in the head somewhere. With a little jack movement, there could be a lot of trouble for her. So she wants to probably match up to those back bowls of Linda's.
Taking a wider line here. That's very well
That's
placed.
exactly where she
Yeah.
wanted to be.
Maybe a
Maybe the
counter.
second shot, or maybe the shot. Yeah, very tidy head from these two players.
I just got a better line coming this time.
Yep, she's giving it a little more width. Can she get onto that shot hole?
Narrow miss.
It's going to be interesting to see what she decides to do here. Like, it's still quite an open hit, like both sides. If Ilvia's sort of less danger coming down the forehand, but it looks like she's lining up the backhand.
Like the weight here.
So if she can get inside Linda's, she doesn't want to move her.
Unlucky. Lucky.
So let's
That
see
might have
if
given the
that's
point
done.
away.
Possibly has, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, like she's been very good, but that for me was the wrong choice of bomb because that was always a possibility. You know, you had to be very accurate to avoid it. Whereas if you play it on the other hand, there's
Yeah.
no danger there. You can just throw it out wide. If it comes back in, you've got another shot. So,
Agreed. Yes.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Rainbow's taken quite a lead over on break 6. 7-0 after 4 if my eyes are.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And, Rainbow, when, she had she didn't have a great second set in her semi final, but she's just such a talented bowler that when she gets on a run, she's really tough to go with. So,
Yeah.
but Gillian's the same. So, like, I'm not going to be surprised if Rainbow dominates this set or Gillian does the same
And
in the
come in the
second.
second set. Yeah.
So, Linda leading 4-1, and she starts out in usual Linda fashion. She's just got another
Yeah.
shot right on the bottom,
Becoming very
right on the jack.
consistent pattern. Let's see how June responds to that.
Yeah, and Jen's just got to forget that last bowl of the
Yeah.
last end and just this ends a new end.
Selectively forgetting in a gold medal match isn't always the easiest thing to do. It's a learned behavior. It takes a while to be successful.
Yeah, I'm coming up to my 15th wedding anniversary later this year, and selectively remembering stuff has become second nature to me. I find it much harder on the bowls green, but at home, I can forget stuff in minutes. Never happen. So Jen just needs to sort of adjust slightly from that first one, just a little less weight. The line was pretty good. Can she get in between these two bowls? Oh, she's going in behind. If this could, it falls over. Very
It's
close.
close. I think Linda's still holding.
Yep. Marcus seems to be pointing to Linda's bowler's shot.
Now Linda can throw the same forehand and maybe move June back, so there's really no risk in And just another forehand draw.
Coming in underneath those bowls, but doesn't quite have the weight.
She may be thinking of blocking at this point. We're in the fifth end now and holding two. Maybe she's doing the arithmetic.
Yeah, Jean's thinking hard about this. She did well just step back off the mat and just restart. Coming in off the backhand side now.
A little bit narrow.
Yeah, she just hasn't quite given it enough as well. Yeah, again, I think that's
Kind of taken Linda's forehand away a little bit.
yeah. I think it
But she
was
doesn't have.
overthinking though, right? She really could have played that forehand herself and just set off Linda's slightly short bowl there. Linda's very good at adjusting, so coming back here now, let's see what she will do.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah, it's hard to get a line on these. Like the gut feeling is that Linda's probably holding shot, and that may be a measure now for second.
It doesn't give June a whole lot of options. She can draw. She can take a point away, but she's not going to get any more than a point for that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel she's got that option to maybe play on to those two shot bowls of Linda's and try and get a little jack movement to her bowl at the back. But I think there's also, you know, that's if she comes the backhand. The forehand still seems to have some ability to get in there.
She's going on the forehead. Just a little narrow.
She's not looking overly convinced by it, but let's see. There's plenty of bowls here to catch. No. So yeah, it's looking like one, possibly two shots to Linda.
I think this is indicates a bit where the experience comes in. I wasn't too sure that she really had conviction
No.
behind that forehand.
It was one of those ones where you sort of felt like it was halfway between two different shots. She
Yeah,
wasn't playing a weighted shot. She wasn't playing a draw shot. It was,
yeah, yeah, and not completely certain of what the outcome might be.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's why you come into competitions like this. Learn.
So taking out the shot bowl and the measuring for the second shot here. So,
Except our markers in the way. There you go. There, I must have heard me.
oh, yeah. Alan's been in my way many a times when I've been trying to progress through a tournament, so I'm not surprised. Um, yeah, so our markers in the two matches are Alan Was and Gavin Clifford, both very fine bowlers themselves.
Hmm.
And big shout out to all the markers, and all the umpires, and everybody who helps with setting up here at PIBC. We have a fantastic group of
Yeah, I
volunteers. And,
couldn't do it without him. That's
yeah,
for sure.
double shout out to Nancy in the kitchen and
And
everybody
helped out
else.
by
But yeah, I think this, you know, PIBC is a club that's just really blossomed sort of over the last 5 or 6 years, sort of come out of COVID and just got stronger and stronger. A lot of support from some of the outdoor clubs, particularly Stanley Park, has been fantastic with, oftentimes here Stanley Park will provide half the markers in a tournament. So,
hmm Well, as we speak, Jillian's making a comeback on rink six. Took a three away from Rainbow in the last end and just put her first ball with 8 inches, giving her a chance in the sixth end.
Uh, Not surprised at all. You know, like, Gillian is she's just a very, very consistent bowler, and
Very coachable.
yeah,
And there we go. Another one right on the thing. Oh, perfect.
so
Two ends to go, and you need multiple points on each end, and she's giving herself a chance.
so Linda started a bit short on this end. Chance for June to get herself into this set again. Mm. So it ended up pretty much in a similar position to Linda. Those bowls are short enough that they can still get round them and get to the jack.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes having those bowls in front, it can work as a little bit of a guideline. You could just swing round them. But just trying
That's a
that, but
good adjustment by Linda.
yep, that's a good spot. She managed to get the brakes on just in time, so it's falling about 2 feet behind the jack there, maybe a little closer. June's trying the same. Let's see if she can get round them. She sort of went through them. It's an improvement, but it's a very loose second shot.
And you probably want to put her third shot very close to her second.
Yeah, if she can get it in just in front of that jack, it would be a good spot. Does it even better? Gets it right beside the jack, just behind jack high.
Gives June a target though.
Yeah.
June's got two balls left.
So the big thing here for June is that even though that's a target, it's like it's just you know, it's just a draw.
It is.
There's always that temptation to play it as a little too overweight. But here, if she can just sit on that, she gets shot. She's trying.
Very good try. Very good try. She needed that amount of weight to get it there. I mean, she had to get it there. She did,
Yep.
but
Yep.
just a little wide.
Yeah, if she had have hit that, it was enough weight to move that other
Yeah.
one out, but also light enough that it was going to stay.
Of course, Linda's bowl's on the running edge, so you don't have to tap it too hard. Just a slight tap would probably knock it a bowl length or more away.
But just thinking hard about this one, she's looks like she's
She's
coming
going to come the other way,
yeah,
I think, just to cover the forehand if she takes the jack away.
yeah. I think this is a good idea. Let's see how she executes it.
I think she's got it right. My goodness, she certainly does.
Yep, that's a great spot.
It really only gives June a backhand draw to the
In the other
ball at 3 o'clock.
in the other match, it looks like Gillian's picked up another three.
Ooh,
So
that puts her in the mix.
that will be 7-6 going into
Yeah,
the final end of the
yes.
first set.
Well,
So let's see if this comes in.
well, this looks
Got a
like
good
it's
weight
got
again.
very good weight.
Very close. She's got it.
Oh, what a ball! What a ball!
Yeah, that's right up there with that terrific bowl we saw in the semi-final from June.
Yeah.
That's a very smart bowl and beautifully executed. Well done to
Yes.
her. She deserved that round of applause. So that's now going to make it 6-2 to Linda. Might be a case of too little, too late for
Could be, but
June,
let's see
but you never know.
how that shot affects her going forward. It can only do.
Yeah, so a shot like that gives you that bit of
Yeah.
confidence. Yeah,
Oh yeah. And not just in this game, but every game going forward as well.
yeah.
She's already becoming a very difficult, a difficult out. She's had a lot of success in the last month or so, and deservedly so. Chooses not to go for the long jack, though.
Yeah, I think she's trying to change it up. She knows that she's got to do something wild on this final end of the
Hmm,
first set to create that four. She needs to tie the set.
that's a
That's a
good
lovely
draw.
start.
Yeah,
Okay, the length adjustment shouldn't impact Linda. Linda's a very good sort of player at any length, and she's particularly sort of lethal, uh, sort of at the shorter game as well. So it's rolling in nicely. Little, very close. It's possibly shot. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it may be Linda.
over on six. It looks like Jillian just drew for shot. Final end, down one.
Oh, good try. Unfortunately, though, that positioning now means it's really hard to structure a four for June. Just another very professional bowl from Linda.
Yeah, mark all bulls.
Well done to anyone who's been working with Linda and coaching her because it must be very satisfying to see a player, come out and just perform the way she does sort of every tournament.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if that's sort of on purpose or not, but it's it's an okay bowl. It slightly blocks that one hand. Jen's gone down to have a look.
She could come backhand with a little narrow weight, but like you say, she's run out of points at this stage. Although I think she's trying to do just that.
She is. She's close to it too. But she just clears. Well,
Well,
yeah, well, that was her last bowl though, yeah. So
oh yeah.
At least she had a go at it. Yeah, Linda's just going
Yeah,
to call it.
take it.
She's got the shot and she's got the set.
Okay, well, Rainbow's got her last bowl.
And I think it looks like Gillian's holding three currently. So Rainbow just needs to
Rainbow's destroying
get
it.
in there.
Oh, she might have got in there.
I think she might have got it.
Wow, that's quite the shot.
So it looks like Rainbow's done enough to pick up that first set.
Yeah. Oh,
She has three down and she just got a
threw
beautiful
into a
bowl
pile
in.
and came out the victor.
Yep. And as good as it is, you just sort of say, well, that's just Rainbow. Like, that's what you expect from her.
Yeah, but that's long bowls, right? You know, you make a, you build up a strong head, a strong foundation, and then somebody who's just one bowl comes and topples it right like that.
Yeah.
It happens more times than I care to remember.
I'm still going through therapy for that happening at the outdoor provincials last year.
But it toughens you up because you have to, I mean, you know, you see other sports where, somebody makes a lucky shot and, brouhaha ensues as a result of it. Well, in this game, you take it and, shake their hand and off you go on to the next end because
But
it happens. And it only happens because, you probably got the weight right and
yeah, I think sometimes it's true that if you're playing with the right weight, you can create the chances for
yes,
yourself.
that's right. You don't get those, the two things right, then you don't have much of a chance. But you get the weight right, a lot of good things can happen.
So a little looser this end, but Linda's got the one solid shot. So we're first end of the second set. Linda took out the first set. Rainbow won the first set against Gillian in the third and fourth place playoff.
Linda's still holding.
That third and fourth playoff, that's always the toughest one because you can play a great tournament and end up fourth, and everyone else gets medals, and you get a handshake and a goodbye.
Well, you know what? They give double bronze for boxing and judo.
Hmm.
I
And
think
it,
yeah, I think you could make a case for
well, internationally, it's quite often in bowls, that there is just a third, two bronzes given out in a lot of the
yeah.
international tournaments. Um, and so,
Well, I think in many ways you've earned it by and still hanging on to the one shot advantage.
yeah, so Linda's just asking a few questions to the marker here just to get a better vision of what's happening down in the head. It's really just one shot in the head and everything else is quite a way away.
Hmm.
So really, it's fairly simple. Just get a second shot in there.
There's plenty of room. Easier said than done, of course.
So just very light there. So, so just looking like a single shot at the moment. June's got one more to come. There's still room there for June to draw. on either hand, whichever she prefers.
An aggressive bowler might target Linda's shot bowl and might have two.
So by an aggressive bowler, you mean that's what you'd do, right?
Well, not that I would do it, but
Oh, I think
I'd have to have a much
I've
better idea as to where my blues are. It looks like they could be two or three if you take that
yeah,
bowl out.
I think they are. Yeah, I think the indication from Alan was that they were 2 and 3 at the back.
Yeah,
So it makes it a worthwhile shot. If you hit and stay, could be a three.
yeah.
Uh, and
But
I'm pretty sure I've seen you make a shot like that in the past.
well, I think everybody's made one shot like that in the past. I'm not
I,
sure it's a
I'm going to
regularity.
clarify. Every time I've played you, I think I've seen you play a shot like that. So
But if you're going to throw one away, early in the game is or late in the game is the time to do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You only go down one anyway, and you did go down one, so it might have been worth a shot, but it's probably not in her wheelhouse right at the moment in her
yeah.
youngish career. And don't want to be too aggressive.
And everyone's got their favourite shots,
Of
right? You
course,
know that shot for me, yeah, I would have played exactly the shot you're describing. That's the type of shot I'd love playing. Um, but if it's not a shot you love playing, then it's not the shot for you. You play the shots that work for you. Yeah,
well, true, but you're down one in sets. Um, you know, uh, big reward.
yeah, and especially after like the semi final, that's exactly what she did. First end of the second set was when she just she introduced that one aggressive shot, changed the game.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
yeah, it's one of those ones. But I mean, there is a big difference between a semi-final and a final.
of course.
It weighs on you a little heavier.
Yeah, and you are only hitting a single bowl as opposed to, two side by side.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, that factors into it, of course.
So she's coming in with her first shot, just down to the weight here. It's a reasonable shot.
Curls in nicely. It looks like it's shot.
And it comes in just with that beautiful sort of subtle delivery style of hers. Okay, very similar shot to her first. Gut feeling is that June's got the shot here, but there's plenty of space for both of them to draw, plenty of bowls to come. June's second shot coming
Taking a
in.
slightly narrower
I think she's
line.
going to find those
Oh, dear.
shots,
Oh, it might have.
and I think it.
That's
Hmm,
close.
I'm trying to do a mental finger measure.
Might have hit too much of Linda's bowl, perhaps.
Yeah, Alan's having a look for Linda.
Mm.
Yeah, Alan says measure.
He- Oh, she's very good at just putting it just behind the jack.
So yeah, it's very close between those two
Hmm.
shots. June's got a chance here to change it up for second last bowl.
Took a wider green to it.
Yeah, still feel there's room for Linda to draw this. It's nothing.
Yeah, I think she's
Nothing
still
impeding the draw.
still got a good forehand.
Yeah, it was just weight. And that last one that just, her line was very good. If she bowled a similar bowl to that and took a couple of feet off it, she's right on the jack. Yeah, she's had a good look at the head. Hopefully, the conclusion she's drawn is that it's just throw one down and draw a shot. Final shot from Linda. June still has one to come. Looks like this is coming a bit soft and a bit narrow. So that one ends up about a metre short. That's yeah, a bit of a nothing bowl really. So the option for June is either the open draw on the forehand or just to try and nudge herself forward on the backhand.
Choosing backhand again.
So backhand, she's got the option of either just drawing in for shot or yeah, hopefully giving
She's
herself a nudge.
taking a narrower line.
It's way too narrow. Just wants to miss everything now. So I think that's going to be a measure for shot. Like Alan wasn't sure, and he's a very good judge. So if he's not sure, I think
Two in
yeah,
the front,
a
but you
measure.
would think the one right on the dot would, yeah, let them decide.
Yeah, I mean, visually with our cameras here, it's looking like June, but I do wonder since Alan sort of said it was a measure, but he did say a measure, and then he said he favoured someone, but I didn't make out who.
Yeah, the camera isn't directly overhead, so we have a skewed perspective as well. Waiting for Linda to.
Meanwhile, in the other match, the other semi-final, the third and fourth playoff rather, uh, it's 1-0 to Rainbow after the first end, and she took the first set. I think June thinks she has the shot. Just waiting for them to come down and confirm.
June. 1-1 after two. And same thing over on six.
It makes it easy when they're just having sort of matching scores. I think I have had a tournament once where we had 5 of the matches had matching scores after about 5 or 6 ends. Um, and the one match that didn't have a matching score, we were giving them hassle. It's like, why are you different from the rest of us?
Peer pressure.
Yep. Yeah, so,
Going back to the long jack again.
yep. This seems to be her go-to. It's not a bad start, but it's probably not going to be good enough to be the shot.
And it's in there for shot.
Yeah, reasonable bowl, but by Linda's standards, it's a couple of feet out from where she'd like to be.
Anything in the back gives you some options.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, but this has got the legs, got a good line.
Yeah, I think that's good enough for. That's good enough for shot. For
Has a little bit of a lean on it. It could fall back. Sometimes when they're leaning like that, they just stay.
they do. This is a bit short on this one.
Well, it's still a reasonably open head for both players.
Hmm.
Plenty of room to draw an overhand.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
June's holding.
Jude's holding. Yep.
Of course, these blind, when you have bowls lined up on the perpendicular, to me, it makes difficult drawing. You just don't have the perspective. Uh, like it happens here, you draw to one bowl or the other, but not the jack.
Yeah, I think sometimes, like from the other end, it can look as though they're a lot closer than they
Oh,
actually are.
totally, yeah. They seem very bunched, and where in fact they're not. I struggle with shots like that. You tend to throw maybe a tiny bit narrow, and this is what's happening with these two.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly what's happening.
It's okay. That was shot
The
anyway.
shot anyway. There's no actual harm done.
No, but again, it just shows how difficult that kind of draw is.
I mean, especially when the head's like this, I'm a big fan of getting down to the head and actually having a proper look at it. And sometimes you surprise yourself and
Hmm.
realize, oh, you know, as good as the marker gives you information, it's not painting a full picture for you. Come down to the end, have a look at it,
Yeah, see for
and then you
yourself
realize, oh,
the gaps that you
yeah,
see down there.
yeah, those gaps disappear when you get back to the mat.
See now, June's taking a nice wide line on this one.
And she tended to break in really nicely at the end. Let's see if it does.
Hmm. TX is just not going to come in as much.
No, so it's just behind Jack High. It's in the mix. But it's not going to do anything for her, I don't think. So
It
Linda's,
should be a walk in the park for Linda. This type of draw
yeah,
should be.
should be. It's like there's plenty of room there to draw. She just needs to get it just a little wider than she's been in
Hmm.
her last couple.
That's the difficulty with these narrower bowls, though. You tend to give it a tiny bit more green, and it just won't be able to come back as much as you'd like. Yeah, through another narrow. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started at indoor, I'd my peer's teammate gave me a pair of very narrow bowls because she'd been very patient for a few weeks playing with me, and I was a newbie. And she got sick of me not being able to control my classics that I was bowling with then, and so she had a set of alphas that she used and gave them to me. And I think the thing people don't realize with the narrower bowls is that they're just so much less forgiving than a wider bowl, and so yep, they can be really effective, but also if you're not controlling them, they're going to break away
Mm.
in ways you just didn't expect with a narrow bowl. And so, like, I do always laugh when people moan about people, bowling with narrow bowls, it's easier. It's just as hard. It's no easier or harder. It's just it's a completely different thing than if you're bowling with wider
Yeah,
bowls.
I mean, there are some problems with narrower bowls. You have to get your weight spot on
Yeah,
because you're not going to be exhausting your weight
yeah,
on the curl in. I mean, so in some ways, it's harder to throw a draw with a really narrow bowl. I mean, I doff my cap when somebody keeps outdrawing me
yeah,
with a narrow bowl on grass even. I mean,
yeah, especially on grass. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, it's some bowls suit some people, some
it
don't.
does. Yeah. Okay, they're measuring on 6. They just got a nice pull there, and tough to dislodge that one.
Yep. And sent the next one down.
June's made a good effort
Just
though.
going close. Yeah, well, if it stays up, watch it well. It's in an okay spot because if she plays that same shot and it nails it, it's
What's
going to
the
push it back to her.
oh, again? I think we're looking at a 33-meter jack, so it's not the easiest shot to make.
No.
It looks like she's got the range on that one too.
Yep, another good bowl from Linda.
See, this is why it's so important to be consistent against these experienced bowlers. I mean, they might not have the best end, but you can guarantee this is going to happen from time to time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you know, miss your shots or give them an opening, that's where you're going to pay. And that's the lesson I think everybody learns when they come to play at this level. Just can't waste any shots.
No, I mean, you can get away with this against, certain players, but when you're playing the top
No,
players,
yeah,
they will make you pay for those kinds of mistakes.
more times than not, yeah,
Yeah.
and probably at the worst possible time for you as well. They see the opportunity and they seize it.
Yeah, and they're used to doing it as well. So it's like if I've got plenty of references for having done that in the past, they just know that they can do it. And this is
Oh, I
a
see. Here's
really
another.
nice shot.
Yeah. All right.
That's a great position. It's in the count. It's in behind the jack. Um,
Yeah.
this is a
Leaving very few options for June here.
yeah, and this is a classic Lindry, and this is where
Yeah.
she will take you to task. And so June's been playing well. She can get a
And
shot in there for sure.
that's a very difficult draw for a
Yeah,
Tiger TX at this.
yeah.
Again, you could risk a shot, a heavy shot if you were that so inclined.
She's trying here.
Didn't,
I don't think so.
didn't calculate that one properly. Well, here's an opportunity for Linda to steal the end 4.
Yep. So currently June's leading 2-1 after 3 ends. But Linda's got a chance to pick up a 3 or possibly a 4.
Taking the wide line on a forehand.
Yeah, but it just died there, but that was the right thing to do, is to throw it out wide to make sure that
Yeah, just stay away from trouble.
yeah. But it's looking like more than likely a three for Linda. Cross uh, on the other green in the third and fourth place playoff. Rainbows leading 3-1 after three.
Looks like she's holding three at the moment
It
as well.
does. Yep. Gillian sending one down
Have a
now
possibility
to
of a big end coming.
try and shut that out. Not quite getting there, but it might have cut it down. Okay, so from 2-1 down to 4-1 up for Linda, 4-2 up for Linda, having taken the first set. So let's see if Linda can do what she does so often and put the pressure on with her first bowl. Don't want to jinx her here, but it's a good start.
Well, good start. You're up one set, heading into the fifth end. It's almost like you can smell the gold at the end of the rainbow here. Up your game, and but look at this. June's not going away.
Yep,
June
great
is
result.
not going away. That is a nice little bull.
Yep. Yeah, she's got any amount of ability, June. Like
Yeah.
win, lose or draw here, like the future's bright.
Like Linda wants to come down and take that one away. June just throws another one just like it.
Yeah. She hasn't been shy with this one. It's throwing it out nice and wide. Let's see if it comes into me. Yeah, crossing the other match, Rainbow's leading 4-1 after four.
Oh, there's Linda.
Lovely.
There we go. Oh, that's the mark of a champion there, I tell you. Being able to pinpoint it so accurately, so timely.
Very good bowls from both bowlers this end. Let's see what June can do in response.
It's like she's trying to.
She's too wide.
It's about the same as the. Yeah. Very similar to the second bowl.
Okay, so what does Linda do here?
Well, Linda, I think I'd come behind it. I think you're up two
Yeah, just bring her back
this
in.
end and two more to go. I think you cover your asset.
Yep.
Well, not listening to me, so he's coming back, Ed.
Do you think she's going to just try and play onto that bowl of bowl of Junes and try and create a
Well,
three for
maybe she
herself?
thinks that one's not enough. I mean, that's certainly possible. I mean, you could target her bowl there and be sitting two, possibly three,
Three, yeah.
if you move the jack a bit. Yes, Shane, it looks like that's exactly what she's trying to do.
She might just
Very,
she
very
might
close.
just nudge her own.
Almost.
Yeah. June's given that the hands on the hips, looking at it. So it's still open for her to make something of this. Yeah, just a very gentle draw. So there's still that gap to come onto the jack.
Hmm? No. Could have to wait till this is very close.
She could nudge her own. She does. Yep, it's over. I I think she's nudged it enough for at least one.
Alan seems to be shaking, nodding
Oh,
his head.
oh, okay. Okay, this is a time for umpires. Get them into measure.
Well, over on six, it looks like Jillian's holding one, down 4-3 in the fifth end.
Yeah, so umpires into measure. Uh, umpire here is Merle Lawrence. Yeah, this is a really important measure. Yeah, Alan seems very confident of the of the result, and yeah, experience playing Alan tells me that he has one of the best eyes in the business. Okay, so I've got the calipers out.
You got the calipers, yeah.
Little assist there from George, everybody's favourite umpire, George Cupis.
Meanwhile, on six, Jillian with her final bowl,
Yeah, she's been
holding
thinking about
one.
that for a while.
Yeah. Getting a two here would put her back in the mix.
She's changed her mind on which bowler to deliver about three times. So
Oh, she's coming forehand.
okay, it looks like we have a decision here. So I think Alan's saying told you so.
Oh,
So Gillian's just missed out on changing the head there. So
yeah,
Linda
one
did
more roll would have given her two, I think.
So Linda's picked up the shot here. Ellen called it. So one shot to Linda, which will take her out to a 5-2 lead after five ends. So it's getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
But all you need is one good end. And suddenly it's
Well, yeah.
you're back in it.
I'd like at least two out of this end. I think. I don't
Yeah.
fancy my chances going against Linda down three into the final end.
Yeah, I don't fancy
Because
my
a tie wouldn't do you any good. So
yeah, I mean I don't think I'd be fancy my chances being up three going into the final end against Linda. So down three even harder.
well, you have to win. I mean, you can't tie.
Yeah, the tie's not
So
gonna
you so you need
yeah.
four. So start off with two.
Yeah, but two gets you back into it and then
Two gets you back
you
into it,
know
and then you have a chance.
yeah, and if you're trying for a three or four, sometimes you can try way too hard. You
It's
start
very
playing,
difficult to get all your bowls
unconventional
where
shots. Yeah,
exactly where you want them, and then have to make that shot as well.
yeah.
Yeah, Linda knows exactly what she's doing here. Just put it behind, no mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, Linda knows she just needs to win this end, and
Yeah,
it's game over.
it is. Or you just have to hold her to one, and still have to get four.
Yeah,
Or sorry, three. Rainbow's in a similar good spot over on six with a 5-1 lead.
yep. And she's just drawn a shot, and Linda's just putting another one in behind. So good consistency there. So June just needs to, you know, get in a similar place to where Linda's two bowls are. Just get it in behind, but just in front of him.
Hmm. You don't want to leave any more up front.
It's coming in with a good line. It's all about the weight here now. Very good.
Very good.
She's
Excellent.
got the first of the two shots she needs.
Less than a foot behind. Oh, there's a championship hole right there. Oh, maybe still holding, I think. And this bull kind of fell the wrong way.
Yeah. So June just wants to get another one right in there, similar to her previous one. If she can sit on top of Linda's one there, that would be great.
Oh,
She's
she
going
did it
close to
too.
doing that.
Yes, very
Oh,
well done.
lovely dog.
Very well done.
Yeah, so it looks like she's holding that too, but we said she at least needed. And Linda's put in three fine bowls and she's probably down two.
She's got the two she needs, and she's still got a bowl to go.
Okay, let's see what Linda's response is. Can she draw into those two shot bowls?
Looks like she's a bit short.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, I
not
don't know.
short, just a tad narrow.
It's
Maybe just one.
maybe cut it down to one. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, looks like she indicated one to the marker.
Okay, so here's the option. Would you come down the forehand and just try and get that second shot where you played before, or would you try and come down the backhand and just knock that last shot of Linda's back a roll? And you'd be sitting three.
Well, like you say, I mean, I think you have to go back into your toolbox and say, what am I best at?
What's my best shot? And like,
Um,
she just put two fine shots down on the forehand. But yep, no, she's going with that backhand
she's
option.
going with the backhand, going with what got her here. No, I don't think it's got enough.
It's narrow.
Doesn't have enough. In hindsight, that might have been the shot, though.
Yeah, I think if she had yeah, kept that wider and come onto Linda's bowl, that's
Yeah,
there's a yeah, all of a
I
sudden,
think maybe the targeting Linda's bowl as the jack and just try to
yeah, yeah.
draw in front of it would have been. Um,
So across in the third and fourth
Picked up one.
playoff, it looks as though they're measuring for a shot, maybe. So going into this final end, Linda's leading by two, 5-3.
Six, six, is that five or six?
So five for Linda. Looks like Rainbow's up 6-2, which I think is game over. There seems to be some discussion over the score in the third and fourth match. And this one, fairly simple math now. Two
Yeah,
shot lead for Linda.
getting 3 points off a long jack is a
Yeah.
difficult task. I was thinking maybe she might want to go a little shorter.
So Linda's first ball coming in here, and it's not quite where she'd want it. She might possibly fall over, and that could get her into shot, but yeah, they're going to get shots a lot closer than that. Final end in the third and fourth playoff, and it's actually 5-2 uh, to Rainbow. So a lot of work for Gillian to try and grab that.
It's an uphill struggle.
Very nice bowl here from June. She's right in behind the jack. So she's got one of the three she needs. She's got to be perfect in these final two bowls. And Linda's just got to get one in there and make it very, very hard. So
It looks like
all
she's
about the weight.
throwing enough weight in here to ensure that
She,
mm,
okay, well, it's probably possibly second shot. Um,
mm,
yeah, June, this one has to count. I'm not sure if
like
it's
it's a
going to make
little
it.
narrow.
Uh, I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough there. So Linda just wants to get one.
I think June's only holding one, I think, at
I
this
think
point.
so, yeah.
I think Linda's going to miss this next one. She had a pretty good look at it with her second bowl.
She hasn't been shy with this one. She might even get the shot.
There you go. Yeah, there were too many looks.
Yeah, there was a wry smile there from June coming down.
Just like you say, you leave that window open too often, and
Yeah, Linda's just jumped in and
she's just
she's
yeah
broken
jumped
your
in with
heart.
both feet.
Yeah,
She only had to have one look at that one to know what she had to do, and she did it.
yeah. Linda just had to be good, and she was better than good. She was superb. June
Uh,
trying for a miracle bowl now.
Here she goes. Looks like it's very close to what she needs.
Very close.
Oh, what a bowl! What a bowl! What an effort!
Great effort, but not quite enough.
Not quite enough,
She's
but
got the shot, but
she's told everybody in attendance here that I'm here and I'm not
you
going
know,
away.
watch out for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
watch out for me. I'm real.
So Linda's coming down. I think she doesn't have to try this last bowl. Doesn't matter whether she gives away one. She's still got the
Yeah,
second set in the and the title is hers yet again.
yeah. So
Okay,
they're going to
shake
shake on
hands.
it.
Cross in the third and fourth playoff. Rainbow's up 5-2, and she's currently holding a couple of shots, so it's looking good for Rainbow in that one as well. So,
Yeah, that'll be the final.
well, so
That'll be the final end.
congratulations to Linda. She's taken yet another provincial title. She's got many of them in her back pocket already. And
She's her
she's
second indoor singles.
yeah, and she's just she's just a class act and well played to June. She really did sort of
Oh, she did.
push her at times there, and she had a brilliant semi-final. So she's played really well. She's walking away
Well,
with a
in
silver
some ways,
medal.
I think you could, player of the tournament in some ways.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. So
one
well,
of the newest bowlers on the scene and all the way to a silver medal. It's wonderful
yeah.
stuff.
So we're going to see seeing a lot more of her in the future, and congratulations to everyone. So Linda Ing takes the provincial women's singles. We will catch you in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to have coverage of the men's provincial singles coming up in the second week of April. Tom, are you playing in the
I know I
provincial?
am.
You're not?
I'm not playing in it. No.
Oh, okay, so I'm having a go, but I'm probably
Mm.
going to be back commentating for that one as well.
Well, I appreciate you having me, Shane.
It's been great.
It was a delight. I really had a lot of fun. So thank you very much, and thank you all for listening.
Yep. Thank you to everyone, and we'll catch you on the next coverage.